In a wide-ranging and blistering attack, the former Labour leader took aim at the PM and other politicians, who he accused of being in cake and eat it mode over the nature of the relationship between Britain and the EU once the UK leaves the bloc next year. Writing on the Tony Blair Institute for Global Change website, Mr. Blair said each speech in this bizarre parade of government ministers designed to show unity only further exposes the division. They all try to pull the sword out of the stone, huffing and puffing away, and all fail. Getty. Former PM Tony Blair has accused Theresa May of sickening irresponsibility. Getty. Blair said cabinet ministers were in cake and eat it mode. The Chequers meeting had barely ended before each side was briefing victory and the PM unity. They're basically still in cake and eat it mode and it won't work. Mr. Blair claimed there was no escape from what he termed the binary nature of the choice over future trading arrangements. He added, the reality is that if Britain wants a close trading relationship with Europe after Brexit, it will have to abide by European regulation because that is the basis of present-day European commerce in the single market. Getty. May would have no choice but to accept some form of EU regulation, said Mr. Blair. You can call this regulatory alignment, equivalent to mutual recognition, and these are strictly technically very different from each other, but in the end, they will amount to the same thing. We will be keeping in line with European rules and standards. Mr. Blair was particularly scathing on the subject of the Irish border, writing, there are politicians prepared to sacrifice the Good Friday Agreement on the altar of Brexit and declare that the peace agreed in Northern Ireland is not really worth having anyway. This is irresponsibility that is frankly sickening. Training his sights on senior ministers within Mrs. May's cabinet, he added, if Boris Johnson, Michael Gove and Jacob Rees-Mogg can't agree with Philip Hammond, Amber Rudd and Justine Greening on what type of Brexit, and so they're in a fight to the finish or a fudge, how can we say the British people have mandated either the finish or the fudge if Britain leaves the European Union, especially if it does so with a clean break? Its choices will be stark. We must understand the deep motivations of those who have led us to Brexit. Brexit has never really been about taking back control. For those who have created this project, nurtured it, used the full weight of the media power, and built the winning alliance for the referendum, Mr. Blair warned. True Brexiteers believe Europe is the shock to the system that forces US to change the country radically. He said, they will play to the nationalist sentiment around issues like immigration. But it is very similar to the Trump phenomenon. It is a new political coalition of free market business people and nationalists united in the dislike of government, political correctness and cultural integration.